Thank you, Susanna. And it's great to be here, and it's wonderful to see so many people in a room. I don't think it's a long time since I've seen so many people in one room. So it's lovely to see you all here today, and thank you for joining us at this event. So I'm Katherine Ainley. I look after the UK and Ireland for Ericsson, and I'm delighted to be here. But it's been an incredible few years, hasn't it? I mean, assumptions that we had have been massively challenged. Many of the things that we've taken for granted have been turned upside down. And in this new era, we've got a whole new period of unprecedented level of uncertainty. But, there's always a but, what does stand out for me, and I'm sure all of you, is how technology and innovation has turbocharged over the past few years to fill some of those gaps. And Susanna highlighted just how much of the world is changing and how we're having to adapt to many of those different forces that are shaping our future and taking us on that innovation journey. So I'll take you back a little bit to when I was a child. I grew up in the northwest of England, and my dad, I was very fortunate, my dad worked with some of the first computers in manufacturing. So he worked for a paint company. He did his degree in maths. He was a big mathematician, did a master's in it. And he loved coming home and telling me the stories of how he used these first computers, which filled an entire room, to forecast the supply chain. And they revolutionized the way that he worked. So he used to bring home the reams of green paper with the dots down the side that we used to draw all over. But, it completely revolutionised how he planned and forecast across the supply chain. And I guess what gets me excited now is I look to the future and think about the revolution that's going to come over the next 30, 40, 50 years. And it's going to be bigger and faster than anything that's come before, which is great because, as we just talked about, the world needs that now more than ever, I think. So what are we going to see? Susanna talks about some of this as well, but we're going to see self-driving cars, automated factories, remote and immersive working, and we're creating a future which will be powered by that super fast and low latency connectivity. Wherever people are and whatever they need, they're going to need that connectivity. So they're going to need coverage, speed, capacity, and low latency as a minimum. And these are essential to the lives of people and businesses, and of course 5G is at the heart of that. Our purpose at Ericsson is to create connections that make the unimaginable possible. And our vision is to use limitless connectivity to improve lives, redefine businesses, and create a sustainable future. And our technology helps bring people, organisations, and ideas together to create the standards in the world, but also the environment and the services that power that. And in the UK, that means making sure that every part of the country can benefit from the opportunities that connectivity provides, helping businesses truly fulfil Britain's ambition as a technology superpower and enable the transition to a net zero economy. Recently, challenges like the pandemic, global economic volatility, and of course geopolitics have affected lives enormously, but technology, and in particular connectivity, can help bring people together in the most testing circumstances. Connectivity will build our economies and countries back stronger than ever and greener than ever. So through the pandemic, we saw a huge wave of initial impact, with those businesses behind on their digitalisation suffering the most, and those areas of the UK with poor connectivity saw the social gaps of inequality widen. But we also saw the positives as we adapted to those challenges. So millions of people, I'm sure all of us in the room, are now much more comfortable with virtual contact than we ever were before. It's opened new possibilities for how we connect, how we celebrate, how we work, how we interact with each other. And we also realise how much time and resources we wasted travelling, although it is still great to see you all here face to face. So that is good. But it does mean that, done well, a connected world can be much more efficient and safer and remove some of the barriers and inequality that have constrained our society. And I love my job because, one of the many reasons, but I get to learn about lots of the 5G use cases that there are and how that innovation is going to change the world. So recently, as an example, I took my children to the Green Planet AR experience in London, which together with EE uses the power of 5G standalone through this truly immersive 5G experience where you get to walk around, and it's amazing to see how that connectivity takes you into this beautifully rendered digital rainforest all in real time while you're on Regent Street in central London. And the consumer world, it's a bit headline grabbing, it's really exciting, but I think, back to the story of my dad, it's in the enterprise world where we're really beginning to see the impact that 5G can have on productivity. Predictive maintenance, smart sensors and industrial equipment, combined with data processing in real time, give us a view of what that 5G factory of the future will look like. A great example of this is the work we did with Ford and Vodafone, which created a high-speed, secure, low-latency 5G mobile private network, bringing loads more flexibility to operations and allowing those production lines in that factory to be much more easily reconfigured. And then the other large area of opportunity in the UK is supply chain. Another really hot topic of recent years, and here 5G is really helping as well. We're seeing the growth of smart ports. We're working with the ports of Felixstowe. We're also working with Belfast Harbour to deploy IoT sensors and AI to optimise the maintenance and how we run those quayside operations, improving productivity, efficiency and safety across those operations. However, above all of these issues, the most pressing one is climate change, which will be the critical issue over the next decade, and its impact is already really clear. It's becoming more and more urgent, especially as energy prices start to surge as well over recent weeks. Within telecommunications, we've got existing, mature, off-the-shelf hardware and technology which can make an immediate impact. Reduce the energy curve, we talk about breaking the energy curve at Ericsson, and help protect our environment. It isn't something that we need to wait for. So just last year, we worked with Vodafone to reduce energy consumption by 50% on breakthrough 5G trial in London. And in collaboration with BT, we've got an ultra-lightweight radio that is literally the weight of a dog, a small dog you can carry around with it, but has the benefits of deployment simplicity. So the ability to carry that radio around and upstairs makes a huge difference, plus you get the energy efficiency. The benefits of high-performance wireless connectivity can also be harnessed through the use cases that we've come to discuss today, and those that are yet to come. And in fact, in the IC sector as a whole, although it only accounts for 1.4% of greenhouse gases globally, estimates suggest that it can generate a 15% reduction in greenhouse gases in other sectors. So as the most energy-efficient mobile standard ever developed, there's no doubt that 5G can be central to creating a more sustainable economy and supporting the government's net zero ambitions, but only if we take that opportunity now. However, on 5G, with population coverage only at about 40% in the UK and market penetration at about 10%, we've still got some work to do. On top of this, consumers tell us that they feel the value of 5G is not as well articulated and it doesn't work necessarily as they've seen advertised, and they see a lack of relevant 5G services available. So our research shows that global operators who are 5G pace setters have those services available and are ahead on the journey, and they're seen by leaders as their customers and in turn are more likely to drive higher revenues. So what do we need to do to go faster? I think the first one for us is around access to sites. Like everyone we work with and everyone we talk to, this is the standout issue, although I know we're making progress with changing legislation. Technical knowledge, skills and resources would be the second one. I think that's at two levels. It's both at a local authority level about having a digital first strategy, but also for all of us having the right technical resource to work with. And I would make this clear, as it was International Women's Day this month, I'd love to see more diversity as well. And then finally, we need to make more of the opportunity that 5G standalone brings. The UK can really be at the forefront of this, and we'd love to see future trials and test beds take this onto a new level and see those use cases at scale. For us, 5G standalone is the ultimate platform for UK innovators, leading businesses, scientists and environmentalists to really improve lives and redefine business. And all of these are going to need the private sector and government to work together alongside organisations such as UK 5G. So in closing, the one thing I would suggest is that we can ill afford distraction and delay. So few of us can doubt that 5G will be the key enabler of the UK's long-term economic growth, but we do need to take that opportunity today. We're one of the first countries in the world to launch 5G, and now we need to continue with that momentum. We need to move fast to roll out the network and 5G standalone, and we need to do this in the most efficient and sustainable way possible. And that planning for that deployment is well underway, So our focus should be on how to accelerate that, how to improve user adoption, and how to help organisations maximise the benefits. We can't afford to get distracted on that. So this journey is really critical. I hope you enjoy the day and discussing how we can do that. And I'm going to hand over to John from AWS.